My name is Oshifesolu Larry. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as Formula One Column Africa. There will be a question at the end of the video. You get the question right, you get one of our 4x33 racing car for 2022. We have the Ferrari, we have the Red Bull, and we have a Mercedes. Up for grab. First correct answer will get that prize. Yeah, so welcome. So we're going to Monza this weekend. And first of all, those are things we'll be talking about. We talked about the W11 2.0. And also we'll be talking about Monza, the temple of speed. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your bread, grab your sausage, your shawarma, your rice. Get set, let's go. The W11 2.0. There was a video I made about the fastest car in F1. And there was a video I made that I talked about the W11 as regards the RB19. Yeah, go and watch that video if you've not seen that video. You would really understand what Mercedes meant by W11 2.0. So, a statement released by Mercedes this morning. You know, I said in my last video, that was last week, that Mercedes, they've started looking into 2024 car. They're just bringing updates to make sure this W14 Part B, at least they can get some maximum point and they can develop it so that they can learn more from it, because the foundation of the W15 will be different, totally different, so that they can bring this right updates and make a car that is less heavier, less draggy, and has a better performance, because next year will be very important in Mercedes history if they don't really get going right from the start of the season. So before Monaco, Mercedes brought back James Allison to the main field because he was part of the success of the winning era. Like I told you, the winning era, for some of you that don't know, Mercedes were not superpower. They were not just too good. They had competitions, but people undermine the competition because they don't really understand that other teams were making mistakes and were having either engine failure or engine issues or whatever, but Mercedes were just right on time. Like, they made less mistakes. Like Red Bull made less mistakes in Netherlands, and that is as a result of their confidence level. So if you are so confident in what you're doing, you make less mistakes because you know and you are sure about what you're doing. So they brought James Allison back, the man behind their main success, come back to the field and get them, we need to move forward. You know that kind of a prayer. Olua, we must move forward. So they started praying, kabashing, and they had to bring James Allison back. Now, Andre Chauvelin and James Allison have said they are looking in the right direction now, because the podless direction has given them pod problems. So they have to move in this new direction, and now they know where they are going to, and they've now seen that it's not really that this new regulation is hard. It's not hard. So they're able to look at their W11 and this B upgrade that they've brought, see that, this is just a tweak. We can make this W11 better. So what Mercedes are doing now is they're going back to W11. That W11 was their 2020 car. So they're able to look at their W11 and this B upgrade that they've brought to see that, this is just a tweak. We can make this W11 better. So what Mercedes are doing now is they're going back to W11. That W11 was their 2020 car. That car is just something else. I know 2020 there was Corona. Everybody was meant to move to 2021. 2021 was majorly when the new regulation was meant to kickstart. So 2020 was the last year for that era of the car, but because of the coronavirus and everything, so they had to shift it. So they made the W11 as the best car. That's in PM. So they're now saying they are going back to 2020. They know what they did in 2020 to have the best car. So they are going back there to get that W11 and give it a name, W11 2.0, which will now be W15 in 2024. Hope Mercedes will not fall our hands like this, because all these mouths, if your mouth is too sweet, if your mouth is too something else will come out. Hope Mercedes are going to overwhet our appetite. But I think seriously, Mercedes know the direction they are going to now. And for me, it's just all about the competition. It's just for us to have a big competition. And Mercedes have been a team that has brought competition in the game. Even when they were winning, the competitors like Ferrari, Red Bull, then they had Racing Point. They were very, very good teams, and they were in the right competition, even with Renault around that time. But now it is just one team at the top, just one driver that just go from the beginning to the end. No overtake sometimes. I don't know how he enjoys that. Well, maybe he's Ashake and he's doing Lonely in the Front. That's one of the biggest music now that everybody's shouting about. I remember the last interview that he was asked about how he feels about racing all alone in front. You know what he said? He said he's unavailable. He's just too much unavailable. He just loves to be that person that is in front racing all alone. He's unavailable to every other person on the field, so nobody should call him. So far they are not seeing him, they should not call him. But it will be interesting in 2020. Formula One will get back to the interesting side in 2024. So we hope Mercedes will do a very good job job. And we are hoping Ferrari, the king of flops, will do a very good job with their car and give us a championship winning car. Then McLaren, they've been in the mix, so we are hoping for something better from McLaren. They've shown they are up for the battle, so let's hope the McLaren team can bring something great in the mix. We've not seen anybody that won our question for last week, so that same question will be carried over into this week. So I'll ask the question again. You get the answer, there's a prize for you. I would ask it when I think it is right time to ask that question. It's not too hard. It's one of the most simplest questions. But anyway, Monza weather this weekend. Baba God do. Now beg we dey beg go. Give us a favorable weather. Friday will be very calm, very cool, sunny and cloudy, but no rain. Saturday sunny, cloudy, better, no rain. But on Sunday there will be rain. No. And you know the funny thing, the raining race recently has been giving us different vibes. We've been enjoying it. At least the rain has brought mix into the race, so it has been a little bit interesting with the rain. Let's hope if there is rain, it will be interesting this weekend. That is all we can hope for this weekend, so let's hope that will be. But what are the things that you need to know about Monza? Monza is one of the fastest track on the F1 calendar. It has a lot of long straights, slow corners, and those slow corners are not even much. And it's so fast. Even Lewis Hamilton is saying, this race, if we start the race, Verstappen will just start leading and it will disappear off the road. We won't see him again. And I was like, Kilode, oh, I remember they have the fastest car. Lewis Hamilton has already started counting his eggs before they hatch. But I think something will play in. This is the home race of the Ferrari, and we are in the temple of speed. And Ferrari will do whatever they can to bring something out of this race. So I tip Ferrari for a pole position in this race. They got a pole position last year. They will try and do their best to make sure all the disappointments they've been giving their Ferrari fans since March, at least they can make them laugh a little. But we know that it's not going to be a full laughter because Max Verstappen is going to spoil the party. But the only thing we can wish them for is that you have a pole position, which I think they're going to have a pole position this weekend. To be a very tight weekend between the Red Bull and the Ferrari. The Mercedes will be in the mix, but I think it's going to be a pole position for the Tifosi team, that is the Ferrari, and I think it's going to be a Charles Leclerc pole position. After his bad luck outing in last race, that was in Netherlands, he should be able to get back to something better this weekend. Now, that track was constructed in 1922, and I think that is the third world purpose-built race track in the world. That is in those early years, and that comes in after the number one, which was the Brooksland racetrack in UK and the Indianapolis in the US. It was originally a circuit that featured a daunting series of banked curves as well as outfield section that are still in use today, and it is a beautiful track. And that was the track in which Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen had their somebody riding over and somebody riding under. That took both of them out of the race in 2021 and making Daniel Ricciardo win that race. So Daniel Ricciardo won that race in 2021. Like I said, the Monza track, the doors were open on September 3rd, 1922, and it was just a week before they hosted that year's Italian Grand Prix. You know, then it was not Italian Grand Prix because F1 calendar started in 1950, and you know the funny thing, race has been held there since 1950. It's a very fast circuit. The Formula 1 fastest ever lap was set in Monza by Juan Pablo Montoya, a 260.6 kilometers per hour effort during one of the practices in the 2004 Grand Prix. That was when the locals there called that lap La Pista Magica. The cars will be on full throttle 80% of the lap. That is where the Williams will shine, I believe. For that race, there will be 80% on full throttle on that track, and it's going to be putting brakes to good work, especially on the tight chicanes in Monza. You know, Monza is in the northeast of Milan. The Italian Grand Prix, that's the Monza Grand Prix, is the fifth oldest national Grand Prix after the French, the United States Grand Prix, Spanish Grand Prix, and the Russian Grand Prix, having been held. In 2013, it became the most held Grand Prix, but in 2022, held the 92nd edition of a Grand Prix. Wow. It's one of the two Grand Prix along with the British, which has run an event of the Formula 1 Championship every season continuously since the championship was introduced in 1950. Now, there was only one that the race was not held in Monza, but it was held in Imola. It has been different kinds of championships, but ranging on up until now, is still one of the best tracks. Now, the most wins by a driver That is a very tight dual battle between Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton, because both of them have had 5 wins in Monza, but Ferrari has had 20 constructor wins. The circuit is a 5.793 kilometers, which is about 3.6 miles. The race length is 306.720 kilometers. That's 190.596 miles. It's a 53 lap race, and last year pole position, like I told you, was a Ferrari. Charles Leclerc, 1 minute 20 seconds 1/10. But it was a different winner. Max Verstappen won the race in his RB18, while Charles Leclerc came second and George Russell of the Mercedes came third. The fastest lap for last year was a stunning 1 minute 24 seconds by Checo Perez of Red Bull. This race this weekend is going to be very interesting, and like I told you, I'm tipping Ferrari to get the pole position while the Red Bull are winning the race. But subsequently, as we get to the racing weekend, we'll be able to give you right prediction after we finish the FP1 and FP2. But what you need to know also is, because it is the home race for the Ferrari and also for the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, Alfa Romeo shares the same engine and some part of factory with Ferrari. The Ferrari will come in with a very different livery, while the Alfa Romeo will come in with their own livery to show their fans that, hey, even if you are not winning, because now they support us, we get something to show for it. And I think they are coming with some beats also. In the next 2-3 races, I think the bars will start changing. Start seeing teams like Mercedes, McLaren and Ferrari getting closer, even Aston Martin getting closer or even beating Red Bull to races. All that, except FIA Formula 1 did not really instill that punishment on Red Bull last year. But I think that is what is going to happen. Other teams will start catching up. Though the season is wrapped up already, but it's just for watching sake. Watch out for FP1, FP2 video. You know I always love you. And the question for the day. There are 3 drivers in the present grid that have raised their 150th Grand Prix on a single track in the space of 2 years. Who are the drivers, on which track, and which of them was the driver that did the 150th of his this year on that track? First person to get the correct answer right will be given one of the 1:3 race car of their choice, either Mercedes, Red Bull or Ferrari. Thank you, we love you. Subscribe, like, share, comment. I love you. Bye. Cheers.
Gibor gives you power. Gibor gives you control. Gibor gives you benefits. Are you an individual or business that uses fuel or gas? Use Gibor to find the best prices across all retail outlets in your city. For users and businesses that buy volumes, Gibor gives you access to credit. Gibor also gives you the ability to track your costs and monitor expenses per car or fleet. Need to improve your costs, enjoy incentives, or track expense? Gibor is the answer. Enjoy 5% discount on your first 5 purchases when you get your next fuel voucher from Gibor. Log on to www.gibor.co to enjoy this. Retail outlets wanted nationwide.
We have a new friend in the house. We are in Nigeria here, West Africa. He provides internet for us. They provide the best internet around the mainland, and I know they are still moving to the highland and they are moving all around Nigeria. But for you to get internet on the mainland, contact Fibrad Telecom Limited. They get you sorted out ASAP. The best cable internet on the mainland, fiber, I think they get sorted out. We talk much about them in the course of some of our videos, but contact them, they get sorted out. If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. Contact Rated Art. His number is right up here, and you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here. So check out some of his works. Thank you. Teams Gadget is for those of you that cannot easily go to the market to get your phones, your laptops, your accessories. Just place a call through. His phone number is there. It gets you the best. It's your shop plug to get you the best phones, accessories, laptops, games, and other accessories for your computer gaming experience. Contact Teams Gadget and you get them for you.